Senators Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey to please stand up and speak for the people of Gaza, who are currently under siege, illegal siege by the Israeli military. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea,
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea,
From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Block the bombs, allow the aid.
Block the bombs, allow the aid.
This genocide is U.S. made.
This genocide is U.S. made.
Block the bombs, allow the aid.
Block the bombs, allow the aid.
This genocide is U.S. made.
This genocide is U.S. made.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more funding for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more funding for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
We've got background music, I hear. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's so exciting to welcome you all to this wonderful press event and gathering to really celebrate the success that we've had this month with our People's Hunger Strike. My name is Dr. Miriam Kamarami. I'm a Boston physician, and you can't hear. How about this? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it only projects toward the front, but let me start that again. So I'm Dr. Miriam Kamarami, and I'm here to welcome you all to this celebration of the People's Hunger Strike. I want to tell you just a few things about the hunger strike as we get started. We really only came up with the idea of this strike about 6 weeks ago, and we had 3 groups that collaborated to get this going. So Healthcare Workers for Palestine, Doctors Against Genocide, and Jewish Voice for Peace Boston came together to make this happen. Woohoo! Yeah! And then we've had wonderful collaboration with about a dozen organizations that have joined us to make this happen. The focus of this strike is really to draw the attention of the U.S. public to the fact that we are funding genocide in Gaza. We are supporting Israel to commit this forced starvation, this artificial famine that's created by our military dollars and our political support for Israel. This is something that we need to fight back against with every fiber of our being. And that's what this hunger strike has been about. We need to make this stop, and we need to do it now. Our particular focus has been to insist that the U.S. stop military aid to Israel. And the means that we have of doing that is asking our senators, Warren and Markey, to lead in this regard. It's not enough to sign on to others' resolutions. They need to introduce the Block the Bombs bill in the Senate. We're also calling on Catherine Clark, the minority whip, who has shamefully not signed on to the Block the Bombs bill in the House. Wonderful. Well, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Laura Germanis, who's going to introduce our first speaker.
Thank you so much. And before proceeding, I first also want to acknowledge the other amazing organizations that have helped to make this hunger strike possible, who also include the Committee of Interns and Residents, the largest union of healthcare workers, of doctors in the country, thank you, Massachusetts Peace Action, South Shore Alliance for Palestine, Boston Area Liberation Medics, who have provided vital services and support for our hunger strikers. The Boston Palestine Film Festival, which is currently featuring programming and has done for over 10 years, focusing on the voices of Palestinians. JP for Palestine. Woo! Runners for Justice in Palestine. Razi Loves Palestine, and the Alliance for Water Justice in Palestine. And just before I announce our much-awaited first speaker, Representative Ayanna Presley, I just want to paint the scene right now for what is going on in Gaza, which is that we have this horrific moment where in less than a week, three Palestinian hospitals in Gaza were shut down, and the Shifa hospital is on the brink of collapse as Israeli tanks have been spotted less than a mile from the hospital. So we've seen the Al-Rantisi Children's Hospital, Gaza's Eye Hospital out of service, the Jordanian Field Hospital was disabled, and the Al-Quds Hospital rendered inaccessible. This is an abomination. We do not stand for war crimes. Our own U.S. laws do not allow us to fund war crimes. And so we're seeing this important theme here where there's an absolute assault on our democracy and on the rule of law. It is happening in Palestine. It is happening here. And the two are vitally connected. And nobody understands that better than our own representative, Ayanna Presley. Thank you so much for being with us today. I would like to invite you up to speak. And also to acknowledge that Representative Presley sponsored an initiative to surge infant formula into Gaza, which involved over 100 representatives. Thank you.
Space, hold on. Just take this. All right, I literally just got off the plane. I just landed from Washington, D.C. A place reeling. We're still in the fight for statehood and to free D.C. All of these fights are connected. The fact that I'm coming from a place that is fighting for statehood and to be free, that is surviving a military occupation, goes to underscore that our freedoms and our destinies are tied. From DC, from Washington, D.C., to Massachusetts, to the Sudan, to the Congo, to Haiti, and to Gaza. Yeah, to Palestine. Free DC, free Palestine. James Baldwin once said, "The children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe." I'm beginning to suspect that whoever is incapable of recognizing this may be incapable of morality. Again, the children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe. And I'm beginning to suspect that whoever is incapable of recognizing this may be incapable of morality. James Baldwin. I want to begin by thanking the healthcare workers and allies who invited me to stand with them today. You are on the front lines, saving lives, speaking truth to power, and demanding urgent action. I'm honored to stand with you and to amplify this call. I also stand with the mothers, fathers, and babies who are facing a crisis that no family should ever endure. The images that we are seeing, children so weak from hunger they can barely lift themselves, mothers crying for their babies, fathers staring in despair. It's impossible to turn away from, but many are. These are innocent lives, all of them. But these are children who haven't even begun to live, who've done nothing wrong, and yet they are being starved to death. If a bomb doesn't end their life prematurely because of famine, they are being starved to death. And this is happening because of the deliberate restrictions imposed by Benjamin Netanyahu's government, which has blocked critical humanitarian aid and life-saving baby formula. Every parent here knows the pain of a hungry baby's cry. Now imagine that basic instinct to feed and protect your child being blocked by a military blockade. Imagine fumbling for a bottle and finding nothing to give. Watching your baby grow weaker. Knowing the suffering is not from illness or accident, but from preventable political barriers. I've written directly to Secretary Rubio urging the United States to use its full power to facilitate a humanitarian aid into Gaza, including ready-to-feed baby formula. Every moment that aid is delayed, more children face unnecessary suffering and death. The United States and Israel have a moral obligation to act. We cannot wait, and neither can the innocent lives that are crying out for help. Humanitarian aid must reach them immediately. Aid organizations must have full access, and ceasefires must be enforced, moved. The world is watching. The world is watching. That has everything to do with your activism. Thank you for being unflinching in the face of these atrocities and for mobilizing and organizing to demand change. These families need us to fight for them, and we cannot fail them. I'd like to close with the words of Assata Shakur. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. Say it back.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to love each other and to support each other.
It is our duty to love each other and to support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Let's have another big round of applause for Congresswoman Presley. Woo-hoo! Awesome. Thank you so much. A true hero of our movement. Woo! It now gives me great pleasure to introduce some of our hunger strikers. So our hunger strike over the past 4 weeks, we've had 35 individuals step up, and each of these individuals has gone for 7 days without eating, taking in only water and electrolytes for 7 full days. It's particularly remarkable to note that the ages of our hunger strikers range from 24 to 86. The hunger strikers have made a tremendous sacrifice to do this, but it is nothing. We all know it is nothing compared to the suffering of adults, children, elderly people, newborn infants in Gaza who are non-voluntarily going through a famine that is imposed by the state of Israel and by the dollars that the U.S. is providing that are fueling this war and this genocide. So we've done this in solidarity with the people of Gaza. We've done it out of our love for them and our concern for what's happening to them, to demand that the world pay attention. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce one of our hunger strikers, Judy Andler. Judy is a lifelong resident Massachusetts. She's a member of Community Encampments for Palestine and the Alliance for Water Justice in Palestine. Judy's going to tell you, probably in her usual modest way, not mentioning, about a letter writing campaign that we've had to tell our senators how much the public wants them to introduce the Block the Bombs bill. Judy she originated this campaign. She's the one who said we need to do this, and she's driven it forward. So we're incredibly proud and grateful to Judy Andler for doing this. And we invited our senators here today to accept the letters. We've invited them to come out here for our standout every day this month when we've been right here in front of their building every weekday.
Absence noted.
Absence noted.
Absence noted.
Oh, okay. One thing I want to say is that I am sure that when I read about the letter campaign, you'll know why I did a hunger strike, and you'll know why we all did a hunger strike, and why we have to keep fighting. 2 weeks into the hunger strike, maybe more, the People's Hunger Strike began the letter campaign so that we could bring the will and the conscience of the people of Massachusetts to Senators Warren and to Senator Markey. Okay. And demand that they bring a Block the Bombs bill to the Senate floor. Okay. Within less than 2 weeks, we got more than 1,100 signatures. 1,100 there are 1,100 conversations on the streets of at least more than 50 cities through Massachusetts. It wasn't just Boston, it wasn't just Somerville, and it wasn't just Cambridge. It was Chelsea, it was Falmouth, it was Lynn, it was Lawrence, it was Plymouth. I could go on. If you want to see the list of names, they're written over there. We're basically. I seem to have lost most of. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Okay. Saunders thanked all of us who are collecting the letters for giving us a way for them to take their voice and their action. Thank you. Many added personal messages to Senator Markey and to Senator Warren. Some of these messages said, "Where is your humanity?" They said, "You must stop the killing. Palestine has the right to its future and to be free." We know the letters are a step, and we must keep acting relentlessly until Palestine is free, until the humanitarian aid gets in, until our government stops funding the slaughter. These boxes over here contain more than 1,000 letters from constituents who are outraged by the slaughter that is now going on. They are outraged that more than $500 million is being spent on bombs and weapons and surveillance. They told us many things that they think the money should be spent for here, on mental health, on opening education. You can say it, but and they also looked so happy to be able to say, spend that much money in Massachusetts. Liberation, yes. Can somebody hold that? Thank you. Okay. So they demand that you use your legislative and moral leadership to not allow one more dollar, one more bomb to enter Israel. There is no excuse, and there is no choice. You must act on the conscience of these people. And just briefly, these letters join the collective force that is global and relentless in demanding that our government stop the genocide, and also knows that it is criminal that they do not stop the genocide. Right now, it is our people, it is the people throughout the world who are doing the government's work. Doctors Against Genocide, healthcare workers for Palestine, the Flotilla who are bringing food and medicines to Palestine. They're trying to heal, they're risking their lives, and they're bearing the work of alleviating the pain that the genocide brings. The People's Hunger Strike demands that the government act with the necessary humanity, focus, and power. Thank you.
Outstanding. How about a hand for Judy for collecting 1,100 letters, 1,100 for each of our senators. It now gives me so much pleasure to introduce Ruth Baer. Ruth is another hunger striker. She's a writer and she's part of Art for Liberation, an art making and fundraising organization. She's also involved in community encampments for Palestine. Let's have a big hand for Ruth Baer.
Good morning, afternoon. Each day of my hunger strike, as I wrote short texts to friends who were concerned about me, I wrote day 1 for me, day 712 in Gaza. In this country, we are the financiers and arms suppliers for the genocide Israel is committing in Gaza. We are complicit as taxpayers, and we are complicit in accepting that many of our congresspeople are being paid to speak for Israel, to buy into the web of lies and propaganda Israel has spun out for the American people for decades. I am Palestinian by birth. I was adopted into a Jewish family, Zionist, because there was no other way to be, it seemed. In my late 20s, I met my birth parents. My birth father was Palestinian American, deeply connected to Palestine after many visits there to find and get to know our cousins. I identify as Palestinian. I have long severed ties to Zionism. Judaism remains a strange place I cannot go for now. I chose to participate in this hunger strike because I wanted to feel the tiniest fraction of what Palestinians in Gaza are feeling. I chose to participate in this hunger strike to stand in solidarity with my Palestinian sisters and brothers who are hunger striking in the West Bank for Gazans and those who are being forcibly starved and murdered in Gaza. I could not imagine being starved. I wanted to understand, even if just for a week, what it is to feel hunger in my own body and the physical and mental weakness that ensues. Not eating was humbling. It was uncomfortable to be hungry, to be thinking and dreaming about food, to put aside the rituals of family dinners, to feel the rumbling in my belly and the brain fog as the strike continued. Perhaps I did feel one tiny fraction of what Palestinians in Gaza are feeling. However, Israel is forcibly starving Palestinians. The Israeli army is also violently displacing them over and over again and murdering them at a staggering speed. I had a choice. Any day I could have stopped when I wanted to. Palestinians in Gaza have no choice. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification Snapshot of Gaza projects that at the current rate of worsening famine, by 2026, at least 132,000 children under 5 are expected to suffer from acute malnutrition, double the IPC estimates from May of 2025. This includes over 41,000 severe cases of children at heightened risk of death. As of September 6, 2025, Save the Children reports that 20,000 children have been killed in Gaza, an underestimate, I believe. UNICEF reported in May that 50,000 children have been killed or injured there. We have so often said that this is a war on children. It is a genocide of children. We have seen the headless bodies, the torn limbs, the people sniped in the street and left to bleed out because healthcare workers could not get to them. Mothers rocking their dead babies, fathers screaming in grief over the bodies of their dead toddlers, children screaming for their parents. That so many have remained silent in the face of these atrocities continues to stun me. I am asking all of us to step out of our variously comfortable lives to say no to further financing and arming Israel. We want this money for our communities here in the United States, for housing, for healthcare, for our most vulnerable. We do not want to continue bankrolling quadcopters, F-16 fighter jets, US-made, 2,000-pound Mk-84 bombs, US-made.
That's right.
And the many other terrifying Israeli military technologies that are being used to maim and slaughter Palestinians in Gaza and in the West Bank. Our Congress members also need to stand up for the Palestinian people now. We want this genocide to stop now. Free Palestine.
Thank you so much. Let's do a little chant. Warren, Markey, heed our call. Gaza needs you, stand up tall.
Warren, Markey, heed our call. Gaza needs you, stand up tall.
Warren, Markey, heed our call. Gaza needs you, stand up tall.
Warren, Markey, heed our call. Gaza needs you, stand up tall.
Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money
for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crimes.
I would like to announce our next speaker, as I find right who is a dear friend, Jude Glaubman, a hunger striker, who has bravely joined us as she is currently in treatment for cancer and would like to share a few words with us today. Thank you, Jude.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Jude Glaubman, and I'm on day 7 of my hunger strike. But I want to put that into perspective, that the Palestinians in Gaza are on day 213 of an unwanted hunger, a famine created by the total blockade enforced by Israel, preventing all food and water from entering the Strip. This includes baby formula, medicine, and the humanitarian aid desperately needed but stuck rotting at the gates. I was driven to join the hunger strike by my overwhelming grief and fury. I fast with love and solidarity with all the Palestinian people in Gaza, but especially those with cancer and cardiac disease, because I'm currently in treatment for a high-grade cancer and cardiac issues. I, however, am fortunate to have access to life-saving drugs and surgeries, unlike my counterparts in Gaza, whose hospitals and medical infrastructure have been intentionally bombed and shut down. Infrastructure has been intentionally bombed and shut down, and healthcare workers have been intentionally targeted and medical supplies destroyed or blockaded.
Shame.
It's okay. People are exhausted. They're grieving, injured, dying of thirst and malnutrition and disease, all preventable, and under constant assault and orders to evacuate. The Israelis, the perpetrators of the genocide, are funded, armed, and promoted by our government. Our facilitation of this genocide must stop, and I thank all of you, and of course our beloved Ayanna Representative Presley, who had to leave, for your steadfast efforts. Palestine's right to exist is undeniable. There is a global movement in solidarity with the Palestinian resistance and steadfastness. Right now, our brave comrades on the Global Sumud Flotilla are under threat of imminent attack by the Israelis as they attempt to deliver aid. There There will be a return of the refugees, and the land will be restored. The spirit of Palestine lives in its culture, its food, its poetry, music and dance, its art, and the land itself. No occupation or genocide can erase this. Palestine endures, and Palestine will be free, from the river to the sea. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Thank you.
Amazing. Let's give another round of applause for Jude. Incredible. I'm pleased now to introduce another striker, Nephew Naushad. Nephew has been a hunger striker, he's a Boston area resident, and he's a member of Democratic Socialists of America. Welcome, Nephew.
Thank you. As a hunger striker, my job is to call attention to the atrocities in Palestine. But I want to be clear that what I did was easy. I had peace of mind that everything was there for me when I needed it. Every day, Palestinians lose more and more of those basic guarantees. They lose their food, their water, their hospitals, and finally, their friends and family. Every day, their reality gets worse while mine never did. We have been bombarded daily with images of Israel's unlimited cruelty, and every day, people in power, even people who call themselves progressives, who claim to stand for justice, choose indifference. It was Elie Wiesel who said, "Indifference is not the beginning, it is an end, and therefore indifference is always the friend of the enemy, for it benefits the aggressor, never the victim." Indifference strips us of our humanity. It teaches us to look away from the suffering of others, and as human beings, we can't look away. We can't stop holding our governments accountable, especially as we slide towards fascism. We can't go silent or get discouraged, because when we do, Israel wins. We must create an insurmountable amount of pressure on the American state to break from its death pact that it has with Israel. We elect leaders to fight for justice, not to hide, while genocide unfolds before our eyes. Yet that is exactly what we see. Cowards in Congress offering empty statements and watered-down resolutions as thousands are massacred. Senators Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren, your staffers approached me during my strike to thank me. And in that moment, I didn't know what to say, because all I really wanted to say was, fuck your thank you. We don't need your gratitude, we don't need action. Until the bombs are blocked and funding is cut, children and families will continue to die. When you refuse to act, you prove that you are no different from your Republican counterparts, and in the end, the only thing it's about is the blood money in your wallets. Where is your moral clarity? Not one more child should have to die in our names. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to introduce our next speaker, who is Nancy Murray, co-founder and president of the Gaza Mental Health Foundation and a member of the Alliance for Water Justice in Palestine. Nancy has made over a dozen trips to Gaza over the past 10 years. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Nancy Murray. As you heard, I'm in my 7th day of a hunger strike. And I want to start by expressing my gratitude to the organizers, to Dr. Miriam foremost, and the other organizers of the People's Hunger Strike for giving me this venue to express my profound grief at the annihilation of the Gaza Strip. The genocide in Gaza is very personal to me. I have been going there since 1988, when I paid my first visit with a human rights group during the unarmed uprising of the entire population known as the Intifada. The The only weapons, if they can be called that, were stones thrown by children. While Palestinians held mass marches, used civil disobedience, and other nonviolent methods like economic boycotts, Israel killed 1,200 protesters, wounded countless others, and imprisoned more than 120,000 people. Today I have friends there who have lost everything, their children, their families. Over 2,000 extended families have been entirely expunged. They have lost their homes, their cultural sites, their universities, their schools, their hospitals, and everything that made the Gaza Strip a very hospitable and special place. Israel says it is making war on Hamas, but an Israeli military database shows that 83% of the 66,000 people it has slaughtered, with an unknown number of bodies still under the rubble, are in fact civilians. The starvation forced on the population has to date taken the lives of hundreds and could well be irreversible. What makes this slaughter even more unbearable is the fact that it has been made possible by our taxes and weapons. We are fully complicit in this genocide, and if you doubt that it is a genocide, read the recent report issued by the UN Independent International Commission, as well as those of Israeli and international human rights groups and Holocaust scholars. Genocide is the crime of crimes, and the US is supporting it with 6 Security Council ceasefire vetoes and an endless supply of enormous bombs and other armaments. 6 times the explosive power of the Hiroshima bomb have smashed a tiny piece of land, a third the size of Cape Cod. Last year alone, the US gave Israel over $17 billion in military aid, $6 million of which was paid by Massachusetts taxpayers. We have been criminally involved in turning the Gaza Strip into a graveyard for its people and international law. It is well past time for our senators to take a stand and introduce into the Senate a version of House Block the Bombs bill. Right. Let Gaza live! Let Gaza live!
Woo! Another round of applause for Nancy! Woo-hoo! All right. Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crimes.
Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crimes.
Markey, Warren, heed our call. Gaza needs you. Stand up tall.
Markey, Warren, heed our call. Gaza needs you. Stand up tall.
Block the bombs. Allow the aid. This genocide is human-made.
Block the bombs. Allow the aid. This genocide is human-made.
Block the bombs. Allow the aid. This genocide is U.S.-made.
Block the bombs. Allow the aid. This genocide is U.S.-made.
Woo! Free Palestine! Okay, and I'm happy now to call up Sam Stein. Sam is our next speaker. He's been one of the strikers. Sam is a Jewish American with dual citizenship who spent 6 years engaging in protective presence activism in the West Bank. He's a current resident of Cambridge. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out here. Thank you so much to Representative Ayanna Presley for taking the time to be here. It's so important that we have people in your position fighting for us and listening to our words and actually showing up in this struggle. Like Miriam said, I spent 6 years in the West Bank, mostly living in Jerusalem and going into the West Bank and engaging in protective presence activism, documenting settler violence, documenting military violence and home demolitions and all of the other forms of oppression that Israel is utilizing against the Palestinian people in the West Bank. This keffiyeh that I'm wearing, one of my best friends bought it for me in Hebron in Al Khalil. This jacket that I'm wearing, it's a Bedouin jacket, it's called a farwa. The same friend brought me into the city of Yatta and helped me buy it. And that very same friend, Auda Hadlin, was murdered in July by an Israeli settler terrorist who faced absolutely zero consequences from the Israeli government. This is not an abstract cause for me. This is not a travesty that I'm seeing from the sides and understand is bad and doing what I can to help. Palestine is dear to my heart. The Palestinian people are so dear to my heart. I literally, with this keffiyeh and with this jacket, bring them with me everywhere I go. And when I heard about this hunger strike, thank you so much to the organizers, I knew that I had to join. I had to do everything that I could. I wanted to make my body feel the way that my heart feels all the time. And I'm desperate. If I will do anything at this point to end this madness, to end this genocide in Gaza, to end this horrific violence in the West Bank. If you told me, Sam, walk out onto Cambridge Avenue, lie down and close your eyes, whatever may come, and that will end this genocide, I would do it. I would put this mic down and I would go.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm on day 7 of my strike. For transparency, I had 2, let's call them cheat days, quote unquote. I was working all day Saturday as a canvasser, standing on my feet. I decided to be safe and have a tiny breakfast. I wanted to actually be able to think and function today. I decided to be safe and had a tiny breakfast. The amount of food that I allowed myself for these 2 occasions was 240 calories. And I did not pick that number randomly. I picked that number because according to an Oxfam study from April of last year, that is what the people of northern Gaza are surviving on every single day. On Saturday, I had an avocado. That was my breakfast. That was what I ate all day. Today, I had 2 hash browns. That's all I'm gonna eat until tonight when I actually formally break my fast. And that is what people in Gaza have been surviving on for years. For at least a year, according to this study, probably longer. I don't even wanna think about what they're surviving on now. And this strike has obviously been hard for me. You know, thank God, Baruch Hashem, Alhamdulillah, I am 31 years old, I am healthy. There were ups and downs, there were days where I felt fine, there were days where I did not feel fine. But I had an abundance of water that I could fill up from the sink whenever I want. I had multivitamins at my disposal. I had the amazing health team that we're working with giving me short, concrete, and helpful advice to make me do this in as safe a way as possible. And the people of Gaza do not have that. They are not doing this under guidelines and rules and advice. They are doing this because they're being forced to do it, and they're doing it while constantly fleeing for their lives. I sheltered up in my apartment for the vast majority of this week. I didn't use any energy. I treated my energy like the most precious commodity I have, and that was the worst part, was the energy. That feeling in your stomach that says, I'm hungry, was not the worst part. The worst part is that I feel weak and frail, not just out of energy, but in pain. I couldn't sleep. My legs got sore. I feel like I did a heavy leg day in the gym. My arms started getting sore. My calves got sore from standing in the shower too long. And this is what the people of Gaza, times 1,000, are dealing with while they fight for their lives. And that is the tip of the iceberg of why it is so important that we advocate for the Block the Bombs bill, that we get this bill to pass, that we cut off military aid to Israel while they use it to kill and kill and kill. And there's the Trump deal on the table that who knows if will be accepted, who knows if not. This deal is at best a Band-Aid and at worst neocolonialism. Yes. And we need to do every single thing we can to help the people of Gaza, according to American law, arguably, according to international law, according to the UN resolution that declared that this is a genocide and said that all states have an obligation to not only not facilitate it the way America has been since far before the genocide actually started, but we have a duty to do what we can to stop it. And that is why not only am I begging Catherine Clark to sponsor this bill and for Elizabeth Warren and Ed Markey to introduce a senator version of this bill, I am begging everyone here and everyone listening to whatever your job is, whatever your role in life is, do what you can, whether that is emailing your representatives once a day or once a week, whether that the people in Gaza. Don't stop talking about Gaza. Don't stop talking about Palestine. And again, thank you all so much for coming. And free Palestine, free Gaza.
Of doing a hunger strike, and also the reality of the dangers that Palestinians face, imbalances, and that there is a serious medical risk, apart from even the tremendous starvation, as well as the immense dehydration as Israel has targeted the water supply in Gaza as well.
Shame!
So before I welcome our next speaker, I'm also just going to invite you all, as we know, we're all, we have our eyes on the Global Sumud Flotilla, which is en route to Gaza. We're actually going to be welcoming now, my comrade Trudy will be welcoming the voices of one of the people aboard a boat right now on the flotilla. Will be offering us a message. And I'm also going to invite organizers to pass out little sticky notes that are going around. Please take a note, write a message that you want to send to Gaza, and then we're going to have a moment where we're all going to come together and be able to paste them onto our flotilla here that was made by area children at one of our demonstrations. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Trudy to come and introduce one of the members on the flotilla.
Hi everyone. It has been such an honor to strike with you all, and it's also been an honor to volunteer with the Sumud Flotilla. Our fleet has faced bombings by drones, incendiary weapons. They have been dropped. Flashbangs have been dropped on them, and just last night they faced the IOF Navy and evaded them successfully. On the phone right now, I have Adnan Stumo. He is a resident of Western Mass. He is one of two folks from Massachusetts, and he is a captain of our ship, and I will let him speak. Here you go, Adnan.
Hello, everyone. I'm a farm boy from Sheffield, Massachusetts, here on the flotilla, and we've got just announced from our lead ship, we've got 24 military vessels converging on our position, so it seems like the last few minutes or hours that we're going to be free sailing east. We've gotten very close to Gaza here, but it feels, it's so empowering to be receiving messages and organized support from all around the world, from millions and millions of people. I really appreciate all of the people from Massachusetts. Of course, we're the only state, I think, that had both senators really advocating for us, but more importantly, the grassroots, the people on the ground, the people are the ones who have the power. And I'm going to be hunger striking. I know I heard about 50 of you all are as well. Thank you for the solidarity. I just want to urge that we translate all of this media action and all of this noise that we're making into actual economic damage to the settler state, to the occupation. It has to translate into boycotts, divestments, and sanctions. We have to go through our public funds, our county comptrollers, make sure they divest from any military companies, any companies active in Israel. There's lawsuits going on around the U.S. against counties who are engaging, who are supporting genocide in that way. All of our unions, all of our school funds for all the students out there. At the end of the day, it's the economics warfare that really hurts them, and that they're most afraid of. This is quite a moment for us. We've been on the water for a month now. We've been working really hard, and it's been especially recently some very long nights with explosive devices and corrosive chemicals falling on our ships. And it appears that they're speeding towards us right now. So I just want to say it's an honor to put ourselves on the line in any way we can for Gaza, for Palestine, and for humanity. Thank you all. We've been receiving messages from Gaza, thanking us and saying that they're sitting on the beach watching for sails coming over the horizon. And we know that it's not just us, that you all are behind us, and we're just the focal point, we're just the tip of the spear, but we've got the weight of humanity behind us.
Be safe, Ivan. Would you be willing to take?
All the best to you.
Would you be willing to take a question or two just while we have you here?
Yeah, that's all right.
Does anyone have a question or two?
We love you.
We love you in Free Palestine. Yeah.
What message would you like to send to Senators Warren and Markey about what action?
What message would you like to send to Markey and Warren about actions that we need to take?
I would say that, some of the initiatives that they've supported, including Bernie's initiatives to block so-called offensive weapons to the Israeli force. We appreciate those as baby steps, but the real work is in mobilizing, not just working through the bureaucratic sort of Byzantine rules of the Senate and of Congress, but actually using their, the grassroots, taking the power of the people who voted for them and bringing that to Washington and working outside of the box, working outside of the narrow confines of the Senate procedure, and really being populists, really translating the fury of the American people, and focusing that with every lever and every bit of power that they have on the national and international stage.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, be safe. I will keep an eye on your ship.
Thank you so much, Trudy. That was incredibly moving. We really appreciate you bringing that message. I'm now pleased to introduce Martha Miller, who's a nurse practitioner at Boston Healthcare for the Homeless and a member of Doctors Against Genocide. And Martha will be sharing with us some testimony from healthcare workers in Palestine. Thank you, Martha.
Thank you, everybody. I'll be brief because I think we're going a little over time here. The first is from an international nurse who's on a medical mission in Gaza. She says, "The neonate I am holding keeps becoming bradycardic with every bomb. I've been shadowing the NICU nurses on Wednesdays and Sundays in order to learn more and see how best to support them. They discuss with me what their thoughts are if the IOF invade and tell them to leave the babies to die. None of us will do this. They're very supportive of me doing skin-to-skin contact with the more stable newborns, and I spend as much time holding them as is safe. And the last is a testimony from a very dear friend of Doctors Against Genocide, Dr. Ahmad Al-Farar, who is head of pediatrics at Nasser Hospital in Gaza. He first speaks of famine. There is no one in Gaza now outside the scope of famine, not even myself. We saw that a baby is 9 months or 1 year age. He looks like one old man, a skeleton covered by skin. And then he goes on to recount the story of a young girl who asked her mother if there were bananas in paradise. And Dr. Farrar comments, can you imagine a child wishing for death just to get food? He goes on, we are not asking for miracles. We're asking for food, for medicine. We are exhausted people, treating other exhausted people. The hungry, treating the hungry, the weak, treating the weak. If you have humanity left, act now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And as we are nearing the end of our program, I would like to invite Umama to come up, who is a hunger striker, and she is actually one of the people who has done a hunger strike for, I think, in total over 2 weeks at this point. And we'll be sharing some words from Gaza and then inviting us to stick our messages on the flotilla, and then we'll have our final speaker after her. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So this is day 8. I paused for a little bit. I was on 18 days, and now it's day 8. Before I give you all some action, so just actually real quick in terms of the Freedom Flotilla, yes, we should 100% be keeping our eyes on them, but they are working to make sure that they get into Gaza. My cousin, actually Rima Hassan, is on the flotilla for the 2nd time. So yes, we definitely want the flotilla to be safe. I'm going to read you a few things from the people of Gaza so that Senator Markey and Senator Ed Warren actually hear the people from Gaza's voices, and then I'll give you all the action to do. This is all the people that they'll be sharing their story. They're people I talk to on a regular basis. I check in on them. They checked in on me when I fractured my foot. They're awesome. They're just great, great people. He goes, Assalamu alaikum, my sister. My name is Abdurrahman. I'm 18 years old. We demand that your government take a clear humanitarian stance, calling for an end of violence, protecting the Palestinian civilians, and a push for a solution that guarantees the right for all of us. The other one is from my friend Omar, who's 25 years old. He goes, I just want to be able to finish my schooling. I'm supposed to be an attorney by now and done with school. I'm 25 years old and I need to ask complete strangers for help. I'm not asking because I want to live a fancy life. I am asking because I would simply like to eat. And then my friend Muhammad, who is 31 years old, he's saying that yesterday he was in the market with him and his son and his wife Amira, his son Walid and his wife Amira, and they were walking around and they saw bananas. I guess bananas is a common thing. And his son, who's 3, started crying, saying, I just want to eat, I just want a banana. I had to turn my son away just because the price of one banana is so expensive and I don't have the means to pay it. We have a lot of love in our heart and for people. We wish for everyone well, even though we see people who have a lot of money and buy everything they want. They don't see us and they don't think of us. And all we want to do is just feed our families just to survive. They're not even trying to live, they're trying to survive. Like, I want that to stick into you guys' mind. So, some action items that we're gonna be doing, this, right? Where's Laura? This one, right? All you got some sticky notes and we wanna be sharing the love and compassion to our people on the flotilla and those that are going to Gaza, Palestine. I want to reiterate that the people of Gaza, they are Palestinian people. So making sure that you are using correct language and saying that Palestinian people, because they are a part of Palestine. So writing them words of love And then there are families that need help. There's so many families that need help. If I don't have any flyers, but if you want to talk to me afterwards, you're more than welcome to. But please write and share your love to the flotilla, to the people of Gaza, letting them know that us here, the people of Massachusetts, the people of America, stand with our brothers and sisters of Palestine in every single step of the way. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so now we're going to invite everyone to actually participate a little bit with us in this. For all assembled here, if you did take a little note, if you want to come and just stick it up on the flotilla to send your message to Gaza. And then we're also going to invite all of the hunger strikers to come forward and just stand at the front together. We had 35 hunger strikers. It's really an impressive number of people. If you would like to, I'm just trying to think of, actually I'm realizing a lot of the hunger strikers are also sitting over there. So if you need to bring a chair also to sit down, it's, for a lot of people, day 7 or higher in their hunger strike. But we just want to gather you all together. Oh, they're already gathered over there. Actually, why don't we do this? Why don't all the hunger strikers go around the beautiful People's Hunger Strike banner? So anyone who has participated already in the hunger strike or is currently hunger striking, please go stand around the banner and we'll, take a photo. And this is also just a really amazing moment for us to pass the torch. I'm just going to read something from the educators. There's a National Educators Alliance for Palestine that is going to be starting a hunger strike next week. And so this group, we are now announcing an outward-looking phase of the People's Hunger Strike. One of the most powerful aspects of this hunger strike tactic is a way to kind of start difficult conversations, to connect with the human element of what is happening, of what our tax dollars are inflicting on Gaza. And so over 50 K through 12 educators across the US will conduct a coordinated 3-day hunger strike to call attention for the need for policymakers at all levels to act to protect the rights of people in Gaza. And we did link to their social media account, and so check it out on People's Hunger Strike at People's Hunger Strike on Instagram to see their materials. They're also going to have lesson plans, and then of course, as already mentioned, we will be passing the torch of the hunger strike on to the Gaza Sumud Flotilla, because many of the participants in that will also be hunger striking. So thank you. And now I'm going to invite Miriam to come to the mic and for our final part of this, which is of course the delivery of these letters that everyone has so painstakingly gathered.
Thank you, Lara. Let's have a round of applause for our hunger strikers assembled here. Amazing group of people, so inspiring. Thank you all. Last of all, Judy, do you want to be ready to pass out hand the letters? We're having members of the staff from Senator Markey and Senator Warren's offices who have joined us are going to come and accept the letters on behalf of the senators. If members of the staff want to come up, go right ahead.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine. From the river to the sea. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Palestine will be free.
Thank you for coming. From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine! Woo! All right, in closing, I want to thank members of the news media. We've had trouble getting information about our hunger strike out to the people of Massachusetts and the United States. We really want to appreciate and thank you for coming today to help us spread this very important message. Thank you. Thanks to everyone for coming. It's been wonderful to be with you all. We appreciate your support of the hunger strike and the next phases coming here soon to Massachusetts.